Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Spider-Gwen. Now, I just recently ranked forward my 5-star Spider-Gwen, and I've always liked her even before she got reworked. But since her rework, she's gained power and she's gained utility. So let's take a look at her a little bit closer. So first, let's take a look at her synergy bonuses here. Now, you can see all of her synergy bonuses, but the one that I want to talk about is her Gwenum Rising. That is by far the best synergy bonus that she has. All right, so Venom, Carnage, Venom the Duck, or Symbiote Supreme. Her Spider Sense charges, they get a reduction in their evade chance. Okay, cuts their evade chance by half. And we'll talk about her Spider Sense charges a little bit later here. But they now grant her plus 10% attack each. And the max cap is raised by 1. All right, so basically she gets more damage, a lot more damage with that synergy. All right, so this particular Spider-Gwen is not awakened. But let's take a look at my 3-star, which is awakened, so that you guys can see what her signature ability does, okay? So with greater experience in the contest, Spider-Gwen learns to do whatever a spider can and gains the following ability improvements. So the slow debuff lasts 2.5 seconds longer. She's max sig. All right, but that's actually huge, but not essential. She gains critical rating for each spider charge. Again, more damage. The paralyzed reduces power and health by an extra amount. It already does. Well, we'll look at that in a little bit, but basically this shuts them down completely. And Hunter, Spider, and Trap Spider ability duration. All right, so she does not need to be awakened. However, her awakened ability does add a lot to the champion. So let's dive into her abilities. First up is Spider Sense. So she starts the fight with 1 charge of Spider Sense active. Each charge grants her more attack rating and a 7% chance to evade all incoming attacks, and she has a max of 5. Remember, we looked at the synergy. The synergy adds, so it gives her a max of 6 charges, which means she has additional attack rating available, but it does cut her chance to evade down. All right? Now, if she's fighting a champion of the superior class, she begins the fight with 3 Spider Sense charges. If she's struck 5 times, she'll gain 1 Spider Sense charge, and if she is struck by a champion that has a true strike buff active, she will nullify it and gain a Spider Sense charge. So the basic goal here is to build up Spider-Gwen's charges. All of these abilities are ways to gain her more charges. So what you want to do is max out those charges as soon as you can. You're going to get more attack. She is a little bit of a ramp-up champion, and we're going to see a little bit later why she doesn't play very nicely with suicides. All right, so next up, her evade. She has an auto-evade, and her evade against unblockable special attacks is through the roof, okay? But if you'll notice, while blocking, this champion will not attempt to evade. That's something new. Normally, when you're fighting an auto-evading champion, or when you're fighting as an auto-evading champion, the most annoying thing is when you're going for a parry and they evade. I have gotten wrecked when I'm fighting with Spider-Man Stark Enhanced because I'm in the corner, I needed 1 evade and I could finish him off. I needed 1 parry, and instead he evades, and now I get trapped in the corner and I just get wrecked. Okay? But that's not going to happen with Spider-Gwen. So she's going to be able to land her parries all the time. Her evade is shut down. And that is very, very nice. But you do have to get used to that. And there are situations where that might not be the best. And here's a situation that I'm thinking about. Say you're fighting with Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, and you know you don't want to rely on his auto evade. So what you might do with a special is you may dash back and hold your block, and if he evades it automatically, great. But if he doesn't, you're still blocking instead of taking full hits. But with this champion, you can't do that. If you're blocking, you'll never evade. So you've got to stop blocking. And I would recommend only doing that if you're dealing with unblockable special attacks. And in the gameplay, you're going to see her do that. All right. Now, next up is her heavy attacks. This is one of the reasons that Spider-Gwen is just so awesome. Her special attacks, her heavy attacks, cause a slow debuff on the opponent for 15 seconds. Now, that slow debuff is beast. It reduces the ability accuracy of their unstoppable and evade effects by 100%. So it shuts it down. Okay? And of course, opponents with a natural class advantage cannot be slowed. You got to have something in there. But this is why I love Spider-Gwen. Now, she's a little different. Her and She-Hulk are the only two that can deal with those passive unstoppables. I think it's with the aspect of war or brawl. She cannot stop the unstoppable once it's already in effect. But She-Hulk can. But what she can do is hit them with a heavy, and they will not gain that unstoppable again. And we're going to see that also in the gameplay a little later on. All right, now this next one, for me, it's a little bit confusing. I need to do a little bit more research in this, but from what I understand here is that it extends the duration of some of her effects, okay? And I've noticed that that happens like when you do an innervate and you do a combo, it will sometimes refresh it and extend it a little bit, okay? So that's how I believe that works. And finally, we've got all of her special attacks. So her special 1 attack, that's going to gain her more crit damage rating, and it's going to have a 30% chance to innervate the opponent, preventing them from gaining power when struck. That's very nice. That is what I was talking about earlier. So you can throw your special 1, and if it fires off that innervate, you have a 30% chance. Then you start landing these combos, and it may extend it, and that is awesome. That is very nice. It's a little bit of a power control. It gives her a nice bit of utility. Also, it gains her a Spider Sense charge. Remember what I said earlier, you want to gain charges. So this is what makes her not suicide friendly, because you're going to want to fire off your special attack as often as possible until you have max charges. Okay? And of course, you'll be taking recoil damage all that time. So I don't consider her very suicide friendly. Special attack 2, you're going to paralyze them. And for the duration of the paralyze, 4 seconds, they're not going to gain power or regen. At least it's going to be reduced by 80%. And if I remember correctly, her signature ability increases that, so you basically shut them down. That is also very nice, and with the combo ending attacks and everything that we talked about a little bit earlier here, that's going to shut them down completely. And then her special attack 3, she gains Passive Hunter Spider for 18 seconds. 18 seconds is an eternity in a fight like this. And it causes each attack to deal a burst of extra physical damage equal to 55% of Spider-Gwen's attack damage dealt. So that reminded me of Red Hulk a little bit here. But what this means is that to get her damage, what you want to do, and this is just me thinking about this, you want to fire off her special 1, get the max Spider Sense charges that you can, then fire off that special 3, and then for the next 18 seconds, go nuts. And we're going to test that out, in a little bit here. All right, so hopefully you can have a good idea of Spider-Gwen and what she's all about and how to play her. So let's have some gameplay. This first fight is against Hela. Now this is Hela, a boss in Master Mode for the current event quest. And you can see the buffs that we have to deal with. She has Death's Embrace, which she starts off unstoppable and a fury, and then she gains unstoppable periodically throughout the fight. But what you're going to see here is how Spider-Gwen can prevent that unstoppable. So she starts off unstoppable, nothing I can do, but once I hit her with that heavy, she has a slow debuff on her. That slow debuff will prevent her from gaining unstoppable. Spider-Gwen, very, very useful ability. So I just kept up the heavies to refresh it, and she will not gain unstoppable for the rest of this fight. And of course, Spider-Gwen is still hitting pretty hard. You know, she doesn't have that many Spider Sense charges, but I can build those charges up, weave in the heavies to keep her unstoppable down. But I just wanted to show you guys that she is able to prevent the unstoppable. Alright, so we've got another fight here. Now, this fight is against Miles Morales. Now, you guys know how much Miles Morales likes to evade. So I start right on off with a parry here, heavy, and that's it for his evade. He is not going to evade while she has that slow debuff on him. And I can always reapply it by parrying and getting the heavy. Now, it's a little more challenging, of course, if you're dealing with someone who is stun immune. That can be a pain. Now, you see here, I was able to fire off a special. The reason you don't normally want to fire off specials against Miles Morales is that he gets even more evade charges when you do. And of course, your goal is to try to take down those evade charges so that you can then fight him normally. But with Spider-Gwen, you don't have to worry about that at all. His evades are shut down. Alright, now this final fight is against Human Torch. Now he's new. I'm still getting used to his animations. Alright, but this Human Torch has an unblockable special too. Remember that she gets a high evade chance against unblockable specials. So that's what you're going to see here. Now, I don't do it the first time. Okay, so you see I'm evading it like normal, getting a little practice in myself. All right, but I'm going to push him to his special 2. All right, now this first special 2, I bait out and I want to evade it normally. Okay, that's also for just my practice, that sort of thing. See there? And you can see that I did this myself because you see only one dexterity pop up. Okay, that was me. That was a manual evade, not using her special auto evade. All right, but now when we push him to his special 2 a second time, this time what I'm going to do is instead of evading it manually, I'm going to let up off the block so that you guys can see her auto evade in action. Okay, so I'm just trying to bait out that special 2 here. All right, and here we go. Now notice that you see the evades pop up as well as the dexterity. That's because I was doing a mix. All right, so we're gonna do it again. All right, this is the last one here, and you see all those evades? That was her auto evading his unblockable special attack. So Spider-Gwen, definitely rank 4 worthy, and who knows, depending on your roster, you may want to rank 5-er. But that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you see why Spider-Gwen is worthy of a rank 4 at least. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.